Blox Fruits was a game that was created by MyGame43 and Rip_Indra, which was released to the public on Roblox in January of 2019. The premise of the game was simple. It was a One Piece themed video game with the simple goal of beating up bandits and other such NPCs to grow your level and become stronger. Its main power system was through the use of swords, guns, combat styles, and of course, fruits. Or of course, Blox Fruits. The game wasn't nearly as polished as it is today, but it was still pretty successful at the time. It grew in popularity, and eventually, closer to today's date, it reached 50 billion visits, with a concurrent player count record of over 2 million players at one time, which got to the point of basically crashing Roblox servers completely, temporarily bringing the entire platform down, which only aided in its fame. The game was doing so perfectly and even garnered the attention of multiple YouTubers, including big names like Penguin Zoe, while also kickstarting the careers of other YouTubers like me and you, and the game averaged around 500k players every day. Everything was going smoothly, but if you look at its current state, the game looks like it's dying, averaging less than 200k CCU, and for good reason as well. As you all know, the general expectation for the game, for games that are this popular, would be to just have regular updates, but for Blox Fruits, that's not exactly the case. If you look at the time it took for them to release the most well-known update, Update 24, aka the Dragon update, it was almost a whole year. Like, it started in December and ended in December of the next year. So, like, if you ask me, that's like a really long time for an update to drop, especially when you consider, like, it's not that much content to take in for a whole year's worth of waiting. And this isn't the only time when this happens. Like, this pattern still continues, like, today. Like, with updates can take even like months to release for what basically the entire community considers to be like really subpar gameplay or like content when compared to like the time it took for them to release. So I guess people eventually got bored of that and moved on to other games, one of which I'll cover in like later on in the video. It only got worse from there though, because this update was also one of the largest scandals to date. Due to the like insane hype of the Dragon rework, everyone started stocking up on Dragon, like physical and permanent, like as much as they could, like as whatever they could do to get their hands on one. Like, they literally paid like an arm and a leg just to get their hands on like one Dragon, and some of them would also buy it permanent, which mind you cost like 2,400 Robux, or around $40-ish in Canadian. So that's a pretty big sum of money. But the moment the Dragon update actually released, everyone went to their inventory to look at the new reworked Dragon, but all they saw were these things called Dragon tokens. And all of their dragons were gone and replaced with these tokens. So what do these tokens actually do? So if you had a physical dragon in your inventory before the rework, then for each physical you had in your inventory, it would be converted into a physical dragon token. And what that is, it basically just has a chance to give you any mythical in the game, like an equal chance. So imagine you stacked up on like 3 dragons, okay? And you realize that they're missing, so you'll use your tokens and all you get is like a shadow, a gravity, and a spirit, okay? And if you had a permanent dragon, it would be replaced with a permanent dragon token, which you can choose one of the 4 rewards from. A discount on buying the new permanent dragon for another 2,400 Robux. B, a permanent doe and a permanent flame. C, a couple of game passes. And D, a dark blade, some scrolls, and some fragments. And yeah, in case you couldn't imagine, that's a pretty like bad like reward compared to like they had a perm dragon and they lost it for that. I'd be pretty mad if that was me. What the hell? So the devs obviously noticed that, so they released a patch, and that patch would basically just try to make the rewards they got better. So like, for example, from the physical dragon token, you'd probably get a better mythical than just a gravity or shadow. So, okay, yeah, they tried to amend for that mistake, but like the damage was already done. People lost so much Robux, so much fruits, and they didn't want that stuff, right? Like, so yeah, it was honestly a really big downgrade for them. So I can imagine like why people would be mad for that, and some people got so mad they basically just rage quit the game for good, like permanently after that happened. So you can imagine why like that was such a like bad idea. Like the player count has, if you ask me, has not recovered from that incident. Although that's not the only reason for the failure. The player base has for a while now noticed a steep increase in the unplayability of this game. So like, is that even a real word? Unplayability? Yeah, I think it's a real word. So if you join a server, there's like 100% chance you're gonna experience like one of the three things listed: toxic players who steal your NPC kills, or bounty hunters who just make your life miserable and are also toxic. 2, bots who steal all your NPC kills and just stay there exploiting like it's no one's business. They sometimes even kill you as well, which is even more annoying. And third of all, lag beyond comprehension, especially because of the new Draco race they added, but also because of like in general just kind of unoptimized stuff. Like overall the gameplay has like a really bad lag. Like me personally, I don't get much of a frame rate drop, but it's still like every time I pop Draco V4, like my frames still drop like pretty tremendously, you know. So like anyone who's played Blox Fruits is like bound to experience or will keep experiencing that for as long as they play the game, right? Unless they just adapt to the situation. So like take these people from Discord, for example. Even new devices lags in Blox Fruits. Lag, more lag, lagging, unplayable lag, blah blah blah, lag. Okay? Why are bounty hunters so big? Right? If it's no big deal, why are toxic bounty hunters telling me to off myself because I cooked them in game? Some guy with speed hacks killed me and I lost 30,000 bounty instantly. If you get lucky, you might even find like a whole server like just with hackers or just really toxic high bounty players who are honestly probably gonna instantly cook you. So although some players were able to embrace the new PvP system, a large sub of players had decided that that PvP meta was just like too much for them. Like it's way too spammy, way too brain dead. Some people either didn't enjoy it, some people didn't enjoy fighting against it. And as far as I'm concerned, that's like one of the biggest reasons for the player count dropping. Just like that level of unplayability right there, especially because of the player base, if you ask me. So while we're on the topic of people quitting Blox Fruits and moving on to other games, let's actually talk about one of those games real quick. In March of 2025, a game called Grow a Garden was released to the platform of Roblox. It instantly became like a smashing success, right? And pretty much like became one of Blox Fruits' biggest rivals. At some point, it surpassed Blox Fruits. Like, so a bunch of the player count was missing from Blox Fruits because they'd all moved on to Grow a Garden. In fact, it even broke some world records, like, outside of Roblox. Like, I'm pretty sure it reached an all-time peak of 20... how many? Like, yeah, like, 21 million concurrent players. So 21 million players at the same time. Like, if you compare that to the previous record holder, which is Fortnite, by the way, one of the most popular games on the world, which only had 14 million. Like, that pales in comparison to Grow a Garden, which is just crazy. Like, that's actually really crazy to think about. Like, how is a game that costs millions of dollars to engineer and maintain losing to a game about freaking growing stuff, like growing plants? Like, that is actually insane. So, yeah, I'm personally not a big fan of Grow a Garden myself, but I could totally see why people made the switch from Blox Fruits to, well, that game. Like, it was a nice, kind of simple, easy game. Not a lot of thought behind it, right? You could stay away from other, like, toxic people. I'm not a fan of the game myself, like I said. But, like, the game actually has a really nice player base. Like, all the people I've met are super nice. Like, always, like, super generous, willing to give you stuff, right? Really chill. Like, you could just wind down when you play that game, right? So, like, you could see why, like, Grow a Garden won the concurrent player race by a landslide victory, right? I have to applaud how, like, the creator was able to engineer the game to be so perfect, like, so perfectly addicting in every way, right? And it needs no saying that a lot of those players definitely came from Blox Fruits. Like, they just straight up quit and decided, alright, I'm gonna play Grow a Garden instead. It's probably better than the stupid old Blox Fruits, right? So, as I said, I'm not a fan of the game myself, but I can see why so many people would be involved. Let's look at a few screenshots from Discord here. So, once Grow a Garden dies, only then Blox Fruits will be revived again. Tell me one thing about Blox Fruits that is better than Grow a Garden. Grow a Garden's better in every way. Okay, so we've covered all the problems so far, but like at least most of them. But I'm sure you guys didn't click here just to like watch me cry on about like how Blox Fruits just sucks now and is losing the player base. So what do we do to like properly fix the game? Like, how can we save this game? Like, what's the method behind it? Well, obviously, the most important thing would be to improve the rate at which they roll out updates. Like, a whole year to get one new update with like 2 or 3 new fruits that aren't even that good, and one new race, and like it just makes people it just makes the playing the game even worse for people who are poor or have low-end devices, right? So like you could see why that gets dry really fast, like that gets stale instantly. So yeah, I think the devs should honestly switch off from that, and instead from like dumping a whole bucket of updates out, which pretty much gets like emptied in an instant, the devs should aim for more of a faucet or tap kind of approach. So they basically slowly release some small updates over time, so the game doesn't feel too stale too quickly, but the devs can keep producing a stream of content over time. So basically, that way the game won't feel like stale, and it'll feel fresh every now and then, right? And it'll give the players some time to adapt to the changes if you just release small but quick updates. It's also, if you ask me, easier for the devs instead of being pressured to release so much in one update. Like, just release it slowly over time. Maybe one small fruit rework, maybe a few bug patches, maybe some balancing issues, or even just a small event. Something that'll keep the players hooked, something that they can enjoy regularly, instead of waiting 6 months for one new update that eventually gets dry after a week. So I hope you guys see where I'm going with that, but obviously that alone isn't gonna fix all the problems. So what I mean by that is okay, so we have them joining the game regularly, but how do we keep them playing? So my idea for that is to improve their experience through my personal favorite, specialized or dedicated servers. What I mean by that is dedicated to grinding or dedicated to PvP. So you could join a regular server like we do now, where you can beat up these NPCs, right? But you also have the chance of getting jumped by someone, just straight up instantly assaulted, right? That's not fun, obviously, right? It's not that fun. It's not fun for the bounty hunters, and it's not fun for the grinders either, because speaking from experience myself, it takes a while just to find someone who's willing to fight, whether or not you're in 1st, 2nd, or 3rd C. Oh god, that guy's coming. While I stay away from him because I'm not trying to get in a fight right now, which is ironic because I'm literally saying how hard it is to find a fight. But there should be dedicated servers. Can I get away from this guy? There should be dedicated servers for people who want to just grind without getting jumped, or people who want to fight, who want the chaotic experience of Blox Fruits PvP. Just dedicated servers to that, instead of having just the same type of server where you're at constant risk of getting jumped while grinding and potentially losing valuable items, or constantly joining hundreds of servers and maybe finding 3 people who want to fight you. And let's be honest, the player count's already kind of low, so it's not helping the situation either for the bounty hunters. So I feel if we added that idea, it would honestly make... Can this guy get away from me? I'll have to server hop now. This guy's gonna make noise and I hate it. Just server hop. So as I was saying, yeah, there's my point exactly. The 2nd C, a place where people where bounty hunters love to chill and fight. 1, to 3 people, and I guarantee none of these people are max level. Like, this is the first server I server hopped into, and like, it's that empty. Like, that is like insane to me. Like, how kind of crazy that is. Like, imagine having to constantly put up with that, even in the third sea, like just looking for people to fight, but like the game is just this empty. The servers like have no one to fight, right? So if there was a dedicated server to fight, like bounty hunting, for example, like you would see like it'd be concentrated servers for people to 1v1 or fight, or even do crew wars in, if you kind of pick up what I'm putting down here. So although there would be a caveat to is that the right word? Like, there would be a catch to that kind of system, but basically, like, you'd get less rewards. So like, let's say I kill someone in a PvP dedicated server, whereas I would normally get 18,500 bounty, right? Maybe in this server I'd get 15,000 bounty instead. It kind of makes sense, because it kind of makes bounty hunting easier, right? Like, finding people to kill easier. So you should get less bounty from it. And in the same way, grinding could have less experience rewards. So like, maybe instead of getting like, let's say you have 2 times XP on, and every time you get a quest you get like 3 levels down instantly, right? Maybe like it would be reduced to 2 levels. Like, the XP gain should honestly not be reduced that much, because grinding is already a pain in the butt. So like, it would make more sense though if like those kind of dedicated servers existed, although with a small catch. So obviously we should move on to the next topic. So when it comes to PvP meta, if I'm being completely honest, the game has gone way too far for like much change to like really happen. Like, so honestly, it's still possible. If you ask me, it's still possible. Like, instead of just reworking every fruit in the damn game, Rumble, just add some balance changes to every fruit, and I mean every fruit. Like, start on the top of the list and work your way all the way down. Like, if you kind of get up what I'm putting down here, like, it would make sense. Some fruits genuinely have like good potential, but they just can't stand up to the newer, like, insanely OP fruits. So let's take, for example, dark fruit, right? It's a nice fruit. It's a definitely really fun fruit, especially for people to use for like with older builds like superhuman and, for example, dark blade, stuff like that, acidum rifle. Really good combo potential. But now let's pit that build against someone who's using like Kitsune with like Shark Anchor and Godhuman or Sanguine, right? Like, do you see the difference in the balancing here? Or like Ghoul or Yeti or something. Like, okay, yeah, I get it. It's more expensive. It's supposed to be better. That makes sense, okay? But instead of making fruits just inherently stronger to begin with, it would make more sense if their skill cap was raised. Like, okay, yeah, dark is good. I feel like, but like dark, you don't have a lot of growth for this after. Like, you can be good at it, you could do really good stuff with it, but like after a while, it eventually does like you can't grow after a certain point. But like, let's take a fruit like Kitsune. I feel like, or like Yeti or Dragon. I feel like it would make more sense if if the only way for the fruit to become better was if you became better at using the fruit. Like, instead of just making it instantly so much better. So I don't exactly know how that could be implemented. Honestly, I was just thinking of like combo bonuses. So like, if you get to make a full combo, like a proper combo, then maybe you get a damage increase, right? For the really good fruits, right? And I'm not saying like just do this to all the good fruits and leave the bad fruits in the dust, right? Like, okay, that's honestly gonna make it even worse. But like, I just feel like all the fruits should be kind of at a medium skill level to begin with, and based on how expensive or how, like, I guess good they are, like, they have more room to grow. But also, obviously, it should just be like some basic rebalance changes, right? That, how are you gonna tell me that a legendary fruit like Quake, which belonged to the strongest man in the One Piece verse, is like just so mid? Like, that's just crazy, right? Like, I feel like there obviously should be some rebalances or even some reworks completely. But instead of reworking every fruit in the entire game just to make it more OP, Rumble, like, just give each fruit a fighting chance, Like, I'm pretty sure that's what Rivals does. Like, you know the game Rivals, the shooter game on Roblox? Like obviously there's some really expensive guns and some really cheap guns, right? But it's not like you can do good. Like, you can only do good with like the expensive ones. You can do good with all of them. It's just that like the expensive ones, as per my experience, just have a higher skill cap than others. So let's tackle the next problem. Obviously, hackers. We all know they exist. Hell, some of our friends are probably exploiters or have used exploits before. But I feel like there's two ways to tackle a problem like that. And whether or not the devs want to implement one of them, both of them, or none of them, and trust me, it's probably going to be that latter one, that's up to them. Well, obviously the ideal solution would be to improve their anti-cheat. Okay, let's be honest. Like, the anti-cheat's not that good. And I'm going to say it right now, I'm not that educated when it comes to the more technical side of Roblox games. But I am like 100% sure it's possible to improve the anti-cheat system, at least from the Blox developer side, right? I've seen games that have a higher concurrent player count than Blox and have half as many exploiters, aka cheaters, right? Like, I might not be an expert on the subject, but like I know they can improve the anti-cheat. I'm like really sure it's possible. But like also I'm pretty sure there's like another idea they could do, but it's like they should add an in-game reporting system. So like maybe a button here on the side to report a player, right? Instead of relying on like just the basic Roblox report system, right? Like, let's be honest, we've all tried it, and when has it ever actually gotten someone banned? Like, it's not that good, right? So like maybe, I don't know if it's possible, but I'm like 85% sure I've seen some games do it. There should be a report button here in the game. You submit their username, right? You select them, click their username, whatever you need, and then like maybe from there on it monitors their activity, like the past activity they've done in like maybe the last 15 minutes, and then it continues to monitor their activity for the next like 20 minutes they play the game, and then it sends that information over to like maybe a moderator. And I feel like that would like honestly make it way better, because let's be honest, like how many times have we experienced a hacker and we couldn't do anything? Like, they're gonna keep hacking, they're gonna get the account to max, they're gonna get so many good stuff on it, and we can't do anything about it. Goes completely unpunished, right? You see the problem that kind of comes with that. So obviously I feel like an in-game report system would be better. And yeah, I know like some people, like I know that people can also go to their like Discord server and support like and report people who are hacking. Let's see actually if I can pull it up here or not. Yeah, right here, see there's these people who can submit their username, user ID, species, this blah blah blah, profile, right? You can do all this, and that's like, yeah, it makes sense. It's good, trust me, it's really good to have this. But like, you need a level. First of all, I'm pretty sure you need a level requirement to talk there. So like, no one's gonna get a bunch of levels just to report a few hacker accounts, right? It would be so much better if they could like submit a report from here, and then the Blox moderators or developers, it's up to their like discretion to see if someone's hacking or not. Because let's be honest, Roblox moderation's not that good. Like, when have you ever seen someone like genuinely get banned for hacking? Swearing, yeah, like maybe they get kicked or warned, but like not banned really. Like, the moderation on Roblox is pretty cheap if you ask me. So yeah, that's just my take on what like Blox could do to like help their game and what the problem is, why it's dying. So it was just my iteration. I'm like, honestly, I'm not expecting this video to like really blow up or something, or like, I just wanted to share my insight on the Blox situation right now. And I know that in the summer they're gonna do weekly updates for a bit, but I just hope that those updates don't completely ruin the game. So I just wanted to put my advice out there. Maybe the Blox devs will like listen to it, maybe they won't, I don't know, right? But like, if you ask me, the update 27 is basically holding the fate of the entire game's future in its palm. Like, if this update goes bad, chances are the game's probably not gonna recover. Like, it's probably dead for good, right? Especially with the rise of other good games like Grow a Garden. Not good, but like popular games like Grow a Garden, right? So that was just my iteration. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. It really supports this channel if you guys want to see more vids like this. If you guys want to be notified about videos like this, just make sure you ring the bell down by the subscribe button. It'll give you notifications about when I post videos. And be sure to join the Discord server if you guys want to talk with me, maybe even like you know, just like talk with other people, find some help. Lots of really nice people in that server that you can talk with. I'm actually pretty active there myself if you want to talk with me. And if you guys want to support this channel even further, maybe even see higher quality videos, be sure to subscribe to our membership. It's really cheap, but like even buying the cheapest option would support our channel, like my channel, so much. It would mean the world to me if you guys did that. So like, anyway, that was my take on the Blox Fruits is dying situation right now. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.